I'm back on the internet and this free site, just looking at the charting software. And this is the neon mode I'm in, which is like night mode. So that white stuff's okay for printing and doing the daytime outdoors. Sometimes dark charts don't really look too good on too much ambient light. But this neon mode's kind of cool. So I finally got into the toolbox on this puppy. And up at the top here, you've got the chance to put some graphics on top. So I'm in the line dot mode, which is, I don't know, another charting thing that does it. Maybe NinjaTrader does the line dot chart. I don't know. I guess that's the big craze. Is there's actually a place you can go that's probably got about, I'd say 30 different charting programs. So if you really like your graphics to look a certain way, the reason why this is so cool is because you can go here and just say, I want to do a closed line chart, and it'll snap the close. This is what I was trying to describe in the other one. So as you drag this forward, it just gives you, without any doubt, the most critical thing on this whole chart. Done. Boom. You're done. When it breaks out here and it comes back, that's when everybody is, they realize this is the last chance. But it snaps to close, so you can't beat that. And here is the double top. Breaks out, doesn't quite come back. And then once it's off to the races, of course, this thing's been going nuts because, money's just got nowhere to go. Here's a long-term trend line, so people that are into this 100-day moving average stuff, yeah, it's pointing up. What are you going to do? Here is the, everybody's looking at this trend line. When this breaks, this is when people do clean up, because this is such a long, climb the wall of worry here. But you can still see, you get the perfect trend line breaks, rallies and fails into the previous double top. Now it's a triple top. That's the shoulder. And here we go down. People think, oh, end of the world. No. Now you can do a horizontal, you can also do a high-low close, but I'm just going to keep this to the snap to the dot setting here. So when it snaps to the dot, you get all your, you can see all the, you just keep on. Now, buyers are going to come in down here, right? If we ever came back there, and buyers come in here. You can't see it here, but there's wicks that poke into this here, and here's the floor that needs to hold. And this is where if we come back here, buyers should come back in at that line. But there'll be a battle up here now. There's no way around it. That run, but it was tough to. The scalpers probably made some money on this. This is the monthly chart, so here's the trend line on the tightest trend line you could possibly draw right now is here to here. This is where it's starting to get some tension. Buyers are going to come back. If it's really, really going up, it may have to come back to the middle of the road fair value, which is where this this bottom here. I want to be in horizontal mode. I guess you got to repick it. This bottom here is fair value to this whole chaos. So if it ever came back to there, you could have a whole fair value battle. So people are getting in here and they're dumping on the edge. They're selling here. They're getting in here. There's no end to how much torture the trend traders are going to have to endure. And 80% of the market's torture. Even this going up here, this is a laborious if you're running too tight a stop on this run, it may look wonderful in hindsight, but if you didn't manage through this some way, and it was a monthly chart, for God's sakes, maybe you're just on the dailies cleaning up. In hindsight, it looks like, wow, you just should have bought here in 2009 and held on. What a moron you are. And, of course, if you don't trade a lot, you are up on this trade. And it's probably going to just keep going up. Sadly, for all the people that are just going, but it doesn't make sense if... but who cares? That's why fundamentals, the way the world should be and the way the world is, if you're going to trade that, you're going to get killed. Because you're not managing the volatility. So yeah, it's quiet up here. There are going to be some great selling spikes up here. Just lay a grid of sell limits up there. Nothing else you can do about it. This is not going to let me plot into no man's land here, but just imagine you also want to be on the other time frame always. I mean, fit whatever amount of risk you can handle. I think this was the creepiest thing here. When this went sideways and marched down for 4 months into this perfect top, when it got quiet here on this wedge, I think everybody, in the course, I think this is maybe breaking a record here. People are like, uh-oh. And from here, from this bottom here to here is almost, that makes this look like fair value. And here you go unfair, and people are like, I can't even believe it. They only get 1 month of pullback on that, and it pulls back from a perfect top becomes the bottom on the monthly. 1 month pullback into that, clean as hell, out of the gate. The people that sold up here, when they get here and they don't see market crashing, it's supposed to crash, people. It's supposed to crash. They made so much money here on these two crashes that the people that are used to trading a certain amount of pips or a certain amount of points, right here, they're like, you know what? That's a great system. Counter trend trading. You're in an uptrend. These are two counter trend cleanups. And if you're willing to become a trend trader at this point and realize that these trend lines it hasn't even touched this trend line. Here's the bearish argument is that the trend line here, the tightest trend line you could possibly draw. It's not letting me draw it. I guess I screwed that up. Jesus. The tightest one is down here. Man, that's just... It's not the best. It's a squirrely program. I'm trying to hang it off of here and go to here, so... It's just never going to work here. Oh, because it's referencing down here. Wow. Okay, so we have to hang it here on this. Yeah, I hate fighting Java or whatever this thing's written in. Make me jump out a window. This one here, this was supposed to be the end of the world, right? Here it breaks, and it's just this Greg Marino, all these... Oh, but it's the moving averages are turning over, and what the past equals the future. Yeah, I know. But here was the trend line. That's supposed to hold. Here's the fake breakout. See? Oh, it broke. Comes back here. People are selling. Yeah, they're right for a little bit. But now we're drawing this trend line here. We're hanging it off of this thing to here now. And I guess the tightest trend line you can draw now is this one. I'm going to give up drawing on this thing in a second. From here to here. And that could totally break. But it's some crazy stuff going on here now. And I guess the coolest thing about this is you can just do all these horizontal snaps, print this out, and it gives you every damn price if you like to see prices. Let's go to the 12 hour. Let's see, we go from the monthly to the weekly. There you go. So here's the trap down here, the horizontal trap zones on the S&P weekly. And this was the big breakout. Double top, breaks, actually comes up there that 1 week and then clean up. So looks like we're due for a pullback. If it's really going to go up, it's going to pull through here and it'll probably come crushing all the way back to here, which is this double bottom that becomes this internal. This is the fair value battle zone. Amazingly right at 2000 even, go figure. So you can just print this whole thing off of here, run it black and white. Triple top becomes this top. People sell. You're buying here because of this bottom becomes this top becomes this double bottom. You just keep buying every week here. You're not waiting for no, oh, it's coming back down. There's a Gartley, and never. That's retarded. That is stupid. Same thing with Fibonacci. I would use it as a risk tool, saying I'm going to buy every 38% drops. Okay. But if you started buying here, all the way down to here, even putting a buy stop here, as this is ripping back, if this is a 1 hour chart, I would put a buy stop here. I'd be like, you know what? If they trap these guys below here, I want in on that. And my exit's going to be here for the easy money. And maybe the long term is, oh yeah, we're going to come all the way back here. That's a Stapleton exit. You got to be able to win the weight. Another cool thing here is you can just keep going like this. Horizontal close. Put them in every ball. Maybe you're only allowed so many. I think I overloaded it. But you stack them up in here. See the congestion zone here. Pretty heavy. So all your scalps are going to be like that. Buy limits here with scalps. And here's your current trend line on the weekly. Pretty steep. You got to figure they're going to want to come back and test that. So here's the big battle zone. Probably coming right into the elections here. Come down. This range trader's dream coming up on the S&P. So yeah, you got triggered on your sells here. You're short S&P right now on the weekly, and you're making some money. Probably are going to get a you know, if the dollar goes up, this stuff's got to get a haircut. So you would have been short. Your sell stops would have got triggered here, and you're short on the weekly. Maybe you've already made 20%. Maybe you're going to let the rest run. I don't think I could trade that time frame. Honestly, I'd be on the daily, I think, for this entry. So you would have gotten triggered here for a scalp, and here, and maybe you got your stop here. You can manage your stops on this thing. Here's your floor. If you were brave enough to put a sell limit here, maybe you got filled and you're way up on that trade, and your exit's going to be maybe down here for the greedy exit, here for the no-brainer exit. You have this double bottom here. Going to get out of something, and maybe your buy limits start anywhere below here. You start putting in buy limits. Buy limit on that node, and this node. All those are great prices. Will you get filled on some of these? No. So you got to just kind of wait for the thing to drip down. Whatever it's going to do, go to a 12-hour chart. Here you can see the, maybe you got orders sitting here. Start buying everything from here down. I'd put an order there, every dot. You know, looks like a perfect Fibonacci thing already. Here's a critical head and shoulders failure. Here's a critical Just put your buy limit on this top, on this bottom. You probably got filled on both. This is a range traders. They're having some fun here. I don't know what this was. Probably news. This is where you start buying everything from here to this top, this window where they're gonna. I would even buy from here. I'd be long on 3 contracts or whatever here. Scalp out of one of these because this is obviously resistance. Becomes support later on for. These guys are doing okay on these little baby trades. You know. So this S&P 500, you know, you got orders down here, for God's sakes. But you just got to have inventory. You got to be a banker. You got to be a market maker with inventory and stock. You got a buy limit down here. People are like, well, you can put a buy limit down there. You nuts? Yeah, think of this, sir. You get in here, you get out there. I think that's pretty obvious. It's not like putting a lot of lines in here. You just can't overcomplicate this stuff. It's so retarded that it's just a crime. Okay, I guess I can go multiple lines here. So every ball gets a dot. Right, don't leave anybody out. Mark the highs here. Okay, every zigzag gets a dot. So you can see where your orders need to go. There's no orders until you get down into here because you could go into free fall. This void here would fill. There's your only suggestion to put a buy limit. And here was a big contention. Is this armpit going to hold? This is the shoulder, head, shoulder. This is the armpit. And this is the, some guy called it turtle soup or something. But those are the places you need to be getting in. Here is the last known top. Mark that off. Mark each of these. I did. Don't miss a ball. I don't know if you get a. It'd be great if you get an EA to do this for you on MetaTrader. Put a line on every close. Now you can see the true support here. And the volatility makes it so you can't put too many lines in. See, so mark off every thing here. I guess you do some black and white and print that out. Look at how no trading in here. They just run that puppy through. But up here, we got maybe distribution, maybe reaccumulation. But if you're short on this thing right now, you're loving it. But if it doesn't keep going down, it's going up, and you got to have the buy limit strategy. Of course, right now you're running buy stops if you're trying to get long. If you still think you're in an uptrend, you just have to constantly every hour say you're going to buy a little bit at the market, and hey, you know what? Maybe it's going to tank down. But you're going to only enter not 2% of your account, you want 0.001% of your account, just so you can psychologically say, well, I'm in a little bit, you know, because you know it's going to go lower. Yeah, it's a 12-hour chart. That's not too bad. It's only 2 decisions a day. So that's, your setups are going to be pretty infrequent, but they're going to be pretty juicy, I suppose. Okay, S&P 500. That's my S&P 500 analysis.